All right, let's go. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Mob has a lot of room for growth in this regard, and seeing your friends hurt you in any way, shape, or form. It is, I don't know how to put it, guys. Here's like seeing your friends hurt and seeing loved ones hurt. Of course, you're going to go out and take that extra step. Of course, you're going to go out and try and redeem all of that. But my thing is, I wonder what Mob wants for Mob. What is Mob's perfect world in an area where he doesn't necessarily have to go into the scenarios like this? Like, I have 101 questions that I would ask Mob as a therapist. Like, what does it mean for you to get to 100? I know it sounds fucking silly, but what does that mean, right? Because clearly there's a visual and like literal fucking thing for this. So it's like, what does it mean for you to not be in control of your emotions? Or are you blaming this on the fact that, like, hey, you know what, I'm a teenager and this is what I do? Or do you feel otherwise? You know, how do you go about situations like this? And 101 things. Anyway, like, bro.
強くなったね。毎日練習してたもんな。テルさんの指導のおかげだぜ。竹内さんは助かりました。
Hi, Psyculturists. How you doing, mate? I hope you're doing well. Also, this is normal speed, isn't it? I fucking knew it. Hope you're doing well, Psyculturists. And yes, we will. We will. Oh gosh, if I did a character tier list, I might start a war here. Hold on. We did this at 1.25 speed last time. We're doing this at 1.5. We did this at 1.25 speed last time. We're doing this at 1.5. It's actually ain't that bad to play on the drums. Yeah, that ain't that bad. Ready. And 1.25. This hits, right? You want to know something interesting though? I am literally gonna get your brains to adapt to that was actually pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna get your brains to adapt to the speed. So 1.25 will seem normal, and all of a sudden I'm gonna ruin all of your anime taste to where you guys can't watch anime normally because it's too slow for you. You guys are gonna be getting energy off of this. Uh-oh. But that was actually really good. That's a really good theme song at that speed. Rasa, one step at a time. I watched dub. Both. Oh no. In return. Yeah, guys, you guys are absolutely gonna crush it. See, this is a lot more realistic speed than like. Like, let's be real, in a fight, this would be a lot more realistic than like. That's not necessarily a good thing, Pope. No, of course we'll watch more.
あそこがテロリストの拠点だ。レンゲンたちも向かってるはずだぜ。
あ、ガキがいるぜ。逃げ遅れか。今日の晩飯ゲット。
逆ですか。
そこ、リツと行ったことがある。店に戻しなよ。犯罪だよ。まして大人なのに。なんだこのガキ。この街はもう俺。
You sure about that, bro? You sure you want to touch this?
力でいたずらするな。そんな風に使うな。やめろ。このガキ、ナチュラルのエスパーか。この缶、あんたらにこれが作れるか。このサンドイッチに挟まってる野菜を育てられるか。
Bro.
ガラス窓は自分で直せるか。当たりが出たらもう一個なんてアイデア、超能力で思いつくか。何が言いてえ。あんたたちは力が使えるくらいで自分が大きな。
Maybe these guys got a death wish. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
それに気づいた方がいいよ。
Here's the thing. It's either that or Mob is quite literally deciding what it means for him to be able to use his powers. I.e., at this point in time, it is up to him to decide whether or not something is big enough for it to value the use of his powers or not. That is huge to think about it that way, right? Because it means that he's justifying his usage right now, just based off of this. I mean, you're not wrong. Masters, yeah, quite literally. Justification sequences. Oh, bro, you don't even know. The plant whisperer. Because here's the thing. How many of you guys use justification lines real quick? Like, for almost every decision that you're trying to throw out there, you're trying to go ahead and do or whatever it may be, right? People use justification lines in their everyday life to try and determine whether or not, like, an action, a decision, or something is good for them in that regard, right? So you'll often see people quite literally, especially like people that have partaked in substances hard, you know, and have, like, whatever, that they'll quite literally try and be like, okay, like, if I do this, I can do this, but therefore I can't do this. Yeah, justification lines, even in cognitive structure, like people will go ahead and step outside of that to go ahead and justify their usage, right? Their use of, like, I will do this action because of this. That's not necessarily the best way to think about things, Pope. Like, I don't know how to put, I do it because I'm always right. That's extremely narcissistic in a way of thinking. And I'm just saying, like, if you think genuinely, like, if you're like, I will always do what I think is right because I'm always right, that ain't necessarily the best way to, like, approach something. Because if you approach situations in this regard, how are you open to others' perception of the world? Because at the end of the day, this is your perception of what the world may be, right? And everyone, okay. Yeah, because I was about to say, like, everyone else always has a perception in that regard, right? Public loser, hey, I am always right. Are we, though? Are we? I mean, we're just, I don't know how to put it. We all experience life differently in so many different regards. That's why I'm always saying it's always good to be able to go ahead and, like, first off, keep a good understanding of where others may be, and second off, be able to go ahead and, like, if I want to leave the house, forecast up, wait, by yourself or, like, because parents? Me, yes. Everyone else, no, they're flawed. Pope in public, everyone else is flawed. True, but here's the thing, Monte. If your consideration of like right versus wrong in that regard is I am right because I know I'm right, and, like, you know, and you're pushing others down, Okay, let's say that you're right, but at the end of the day, you have quite literally caused an isolation, a social isolation nature in that regard, and caused other people to like not feel comfortable around you, right? So often there come scenarios where people who don't know where these justification lines lay, and like they think they prioritize themselves in certain aspects, like they'll push everyone else away, and then they'll be like, why is everyone else going away from me? They're going away from me because they fear me, they fear my power because I'm always right, instead of they are annoyed at the fact that I'm not letting other people's experience fear like talk for themselves, right? So this is where you often, and even in therapists, right? Even in therapists, and this is why I always point out the red flags. If a therapist is like, oh, I understand where you're coming from, it's like, no, dude, get away from people like that who aren't going to be able to empathize with the scenario that you're coming from, and who will always prioritize themselves over trying to go ahead and empathize with the group around you. That is key. But anyway, it's not me, it's society. We live in a society, guys.
うちには向いてないかもしれませんね。ならばここで。
Sure about that. Have a good night, TLC. Appreciate you being here, man.
ドブネズミ改めゴキブリですね。
組織にいた頃とは違う。
自立しようとする意志の力を持った私たちの手強いぞ。
何度やっても同じですよ。
強がるなよ。
Yep.
いくら先読みができても数が多ければ限界が来るはずだ。リベンジさせてもらうよ。
Dude, get wrecked by one person. Bro. Dude. I'm loving the speed, actually. So interesting question time for you guys. What is also, I gotta fucking pokey catch this shit, dude. Shedinjas are fucking insane. Shouldn't it be like Shedinja? All right, I always thought it was a different name. Never mind. But what I was gonna ask is, for you guys, what is too much reaching out? Like, what is too much toxic positivity? Because out there, you know, you can encounter people who are genuinely positive, right? And who genuinely are there to empathize with you and, like, you know, push you and be there for you, right? But there are other people out there who are positive, but you can tell that it's like that fake positivity type. So, like, where do you draw the line, or how do you know, for example, how do you interact with people like that? That's what I'm curious about. You really need to read The Secret, bro. Let me go write it on my fucking board. Oh, way to go, brother. Way to go, brother. Holy crap, dude. What a fucking callback. Nick, you made it back. Hi. Nick, I have a question for you. This is sort of what we've been talking about a little bit. Nick, for you personally, right? They're going pretty well. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Also, if you're down for like a talk on Discord or whatever, let me just finish this episode. We're less than 10 minutes away, and then you're feel free to join us. We'll have a full conversation with Brady and some of the other streamers. But what does toxic positivity look like for you? Like, how do you know when a person's past the limit and you can like tell their mask is falling off, or like from their mask, you know, versus like a genuine positive reaction? Sorry, we're going over a lot of topics today. I mean, to be sad over and over helpful does. Here's my Wonder Guard. Oof. My genuine thing is there seems to be, because first off, there's a lot of bad TikTok advice out there, right? There's a lot of individuals out there who quite literally go out there and spread a lot of misinformation, and people, how do I put it? The people take it for granted without necessarily investing the quality time into do research. Instead of genuinely trying to go ahead and like connect with these individuals, right? Mask of the person helping versus, yeah. For me, it's when people deflect and not having to deal with negative emotion. Yeah. Or I guess for me, and this is one thing that I was bringing up, is like if therapists or mental health professionals or other people are like, oh, I understand what you're going through, that for me is the red flag of toxic positivity, right? Because that's not empathizing at that point, that's sympathizing. And a person that sympathizes in that regard, let's be real, like no one's ever going to know what you're going through at any point in time. Like you have your struggles, you have your life, you only know what you've gone through. But whenever someone says that, it's so demeaning. It is one of those regards where like I've had, like, you know, in the mental health career so far, I've had to go ahead and step up and literally tell people to stop doing that, like over and over again. Like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. Like, doing this belittles other people. It's one thing to say, hey, you know what, I can draw from experiences and say that I'm here for you, you know, like I have some similar experiences, but I cannot understand 100% what you're going through because that's your journey, you know, by itself. But we can share some of the, you know, some of the things that may be happening. Other hand is people who cannot show a bad day. Yeah, public loser. People who can't share a bad day. And that's one of my big things with that, right? Where it's like, hey, are you doing okay? And they can't be like, hey, you know what, I've had a shitty day, or hey, you know what, so on and so forth. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. All of us have ups and downs in life, you know? And it's like, if you're not doing okay, it's okay to say you're not doing okay, you know? Uh-huh. Right. It doesn't usually help. And there tends to be a lot of like toxic positivity cycle. Yeah. I know what it's like to start because I skipped lunch. And honestly, that false comparison public loser can hurt a lot of people, that are going through the recovery cycle. You know, peer supports are wonderful for that because they can actually relate to individuals that may be going through certain things. But like, and that's exactly it, Montepente. It's okay to not always be okay. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to go ahead and want and expect certain things, you know, going forward, right? The best way to get better is for you to help yourself. True. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll get some of the streamers on to talk in a bit. Also, Nick, you played that game fast. What game did you play?
見ていたが生かしといてもしょうがないクズどもだ。恩を売ったところで変わらない人間もいる。
でも変われるかもしれない。もう悪いことしないって約束してくれ。
約束する。助けてくれ。
ほら。
その場しのぎの嘘だった。こいつらが更生するまで君の面倒を見るのか。監視し続けられると。
それはできないよ。でも人が信じるしかないんだ。それができなくちゃ。
It just depends. Give me a second.
君らしいな。だが優しさだけでは解決できないこともある。時に人に厳しくするのも必要だ。そうなれば君は誰にも負けない。影山茂雄君。今度こそ最上は消滅したのか。それとも
人に厳しくか。
Yeah, rephrase that, man.
ここまで来たぜ。爪はもう終わりだ。
もっと別のやり方があったんじゃないか。親子なんだぞ。
今さら父親面かよ。
Oh, how was your first Fortnite experience?
従順な息子のふりをして襲撃すればよかっただろう。これ以上邪魔をするんじゃない。ここまで20年かかったんだぞ。
さあ見やがれ。その20年を台無しにしてやったぜ。俺はもう五丁並みに強くなった。姉ともまともに戦え。
笑わせるな。親を見るなよ。
近づくだけで発動する。
Okay, parents like this. I died many times. Oof, oof. Parents like this are something else altogether. Like parents, like who can't admit their faults. It's not even daddy issues in this regard. Discreet. It's like people will always try and go ahead and put it in a weird power dynamic situation. When honestly, this is like horrible. Similar to Apex. Oh, you play Apex? Damn. Because like a lot of people aren't understanding, like, you know, I'm a parent, hence I'm correct. And it's like, no, no, like all parents have flaws, you know? But in this regard, even in a perfectionist nature, that's even worse, man. Like, for example, your kid can never be perfect. Your kid should never try to live up to your expectations because that's a lot of pressure, you know? Like that's absolutely, yeah. And not just that, it's like, think about that weird expectation line you just used, quite literally, which is like, oh, you're trying to destroy something that I built, something that I'm doing. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. Humans aren't, yeah, exactly. Humans aren't perfect. And by design, even our own thought process, you know, and sometimes even the mistakes that we learn, that we do, we use them to learn, right? But in this regard, it's like, you know how hurtful this is just for a kid to grow up in like this? Might be trying to fight for attention, might be trying to fight for personal self-growth, or trying to go and establish those justification lines that we talked about earlier. But in scenarios like this is genuine pain, man. And like whenever you get a chance to actually work with, yeah, even the best version of you isn't perfect. Exactly, Brady. But like, if you ever get to work with, you know, younger populations, what you might hear is a lot of horror stories that come from this. Like, you know, parents being abusive in that regard or neglectful and thinking that life is about them and only because they provide that they are a good parent. And let me fucking break this down for you guys. Guys, I don't care what age you guys are, but if your parent literally gives you a place to sleep, food, water, that type of thing, they're doing the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum requirement of being a parent. If people go out there in this world and think, oh yeah, you know, I am a great parent because you have a place to live, you have a roof over your head, you have food, congratulations. You have met the bare minimum for being a parent. Now, does that make you a good parent? No. You can be a loving parent, but that still doesn't make you a good parent if you're not setting up these boundaries and actually allowing your child to grow. For example, some parents need to take a chill pill and take a step back from being a parent once their kid goes into like their adult years and start going into more of an advisory role, of a like friend role, and stop being so controlling in their kid's life, right? Like, i.e., it is now up to your kid to go out into this world, grow, hit their mistakes, grow from them, learn from them, and start growing as individuals, because your kids are not you. Your expectations on your kids should not be valid. Your kid has their own expectations and their own things to go ahead and do, you know? And oftentimes parents do struggle with admitting faults, you know? But even with that regard, here's the thing is, you have a lot of social media presence out there and other individuals out there who are trying to throw out there what a perfect parent looks like, but there's no such thing, right? However, even with that, you know, to never begin to with apologizing for child to make mistakes. Here's the thing. Yeah, parents do struggle with often admitting their own mistakes, but at the same time, parents need to step up. Like a lot of times parents need to step up and actually be there. And I'm not just saying, oh, be there as an individual, but quite literally be there, present with the kid, being able to go ahead and talk with them, being able to empathize with them, being able to see where they want to go ahead and go in these regards, right? Like a good parent is an individual that's being able to go ahead and like be there and observe. And sometimes, yeah, parents fuck up. People will fuck up because there's no perfect parenting. But there is a difference between a good parent and just a parent, right? And that's the key there. And I hate to put it out there, right? Because there's often a lot of people out there who'll be like, well, my parent, you know, my parent put a roof over my head, but he hit me. Guess what? That's an abusive parent. Any form of physical abuse, if your parent hits you, in some way, shape, or form, yeah, guys, that can leave wounds that far outweigh any way, shape, or form, right? And often we try and form other justifications to try and cover that out. But if a parent hits you, that's abuse in any way, shape, or form. And the abuse doesn't even have to stop there. There's psychological abuse. If a parent quite literally guilt trips you consistently as a form of manipulation in order to get you to do what they want, that's psychological abuse. Emotional abuse. We can go on and so forth, right? And granted, we all make mistakes at some point in time, but there's a difference between quite literally, like, again, a parent trying to be a parent and a good parent, or a parent that actually cares for you and your own growth. Yeah, that doesn't turn out fine. Parataxic parenting. Yeah. Hi, Mr. Stabby. Accountability for, yeah, exactly. And it's weird, right? Because there's often weird remarks in that where it's like, oh, wait a minute, you don't have, how can you do this to me? The weird expectations that come in here. Oh, yes, I had an argument with about 20 people when someone posted a meme about kids these days having no respects because they don't get hit. Yikes. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, because there's other forms of discipline. 110%. Here's my thing: is if you wouldn't interact with this, yeah, and that's the thing. If you wouldn't do this with another adult your size, why would you do this to a kid? Just throwing that out there. The only reason why you're doing that is because you have a power dynamic over this, and that's kind of fucked up if you think about it that way, right? Once you start thinking about situations like this, there's no justification for anyone to get hit, for anyone to go through anything like that, in situations like that. And when children stick up for themselves, it's you're being disrespectful. Who raised you like this? You should know better. The guilt tripping comes out. The guilt tripping always comes out. And my thing is, as a kid, and this is the number one thing, your brain doesn't stop developing until you're like 25, right? And I'm not even talking about like new neural pathways forming, because neural pathways can always form from new experiences, 101 thing, but quite literally like fully forming as an adult brain until you're 25. So you mean to tell me that someone who's an adult over the age of 25 hitting their kid full well knowing the fact that they're still in development is doing it because they should know better? That's kind of weird. That's a weird sauce thing, Anyway, we'll get into this topic in a bit. Yep. Damn, dude. That is actually a really good take, Nick. Also fucking hate that. You're just in your rebellious phase. You'll know what you want. You're not this. You're just in your rebellious phase. Like, all right, bro.
余計な世話を焼くな。ショーが反対する理由もわからなくはない。失敗を恐れているんだろう。お前は外の世界を知らないからな。私が世界を回った真の目的は、世界征服が現実にできるかどうか見定めるためだ。結果、世界に私より強い能力者は誰一人存在しなかった。最高の力を持っているのは私だ。
イコール世界を征服できるって答えになるのかよ。聞いたか芹沢。やっぱりこの男はどうかしてる。
社長かけ
先ほどの攻撃は見直したぞ。やはり親子は似るものだな。
一緒にするな。どこだ。
エネルギーを3ヶ月貯めたと言っていたが、私も同じ能力を持っている。
何？
話しただろう。私はここまでの準備に20年かけたと。
まさかその準備って兵隊集めじゃなくて。
20年だ。少し見せてやろうか。
いい加減諦めたらどうですか？ボスが傷となつけたかわいそうな者たち。て
めえはボスに歯向かう度胸もねえ腰抜けだろうが。
ボスが恋に残した傷の本当の意味は平家。役に立たない。
You're all failures? Fuck.
超能力者としての一つの段階で、あなたたちとは格が違うんですよ。悪いことは言わない。諦めた方がいい。
Also, just a heads up, guys, if you have kids at home, right, and you found a new partner, make sure you vet your partner before you bring them into your house. Make sure you triple, fourple, quadruple, quintuple think about, like, wait a minute. If I bring this partner to come into my house and live with the kids, right, are they safe? Do I need to be on guard? And even with that, make sure that you have always an open communication with your kids. And this goes for anyone, family members, 101 things. Create an open and safe space for that to happen, because oftentimes shit happens and people will stay quiet about it because guess what? You're not having open communication with people, and the fear that something bad may happen often stops a lot of people from talking about some situations that may be happening. Just throwing that out there because, yeah, shit can get pretty bad. Best way to put it. Like, you know, as therapists, I'm sure Brady and I and other therapists, mental health professionals have heard 101 things. Best way to put it.
だがさっきのマンホールは聞いたよな。
出た。ああ、事前に感知してない攻撃は効くのかも。追い詰められてるのは実はあっちの方に違いない。
君は優秀だな。消えた。
Bro.
徹底的に叩く。
Damn, dude. Fucking real-time anime hits better.
相手の動きを読めるのは便利かもしれないけど、あんたの動きも単調になるんだよ。能力に頼りすぎて。
驚きましたね。一応ボスを除けば世界一の自負があるのですが。
世の中にはいるんだよ。想像も及ばない力を持つ人が。あんたの恩人なんだな。どうやら僕でも倒せそうだ。やっぱり気がされた瞬間だ。ナイスだ。
Bro. Ooh. Oh shit. I know, we're like.
私には通じません。ダメージや本人でさえ知らないだろう弱点、そのほとんどが霞んだ目も全てが手に取るようにわかります。後悔してももう遅いですよ。
It's like the level 99 boss, and like out comes the final boss of the entire fucking series. It's not even like the game, dude. I'm talking about the like big mob energy. It's like, yo, like let's say like we start a game with like a 30-part series, right? And like the boss at the end of the 30-part series is God itself. It's like, dude, you're a level 1 game boss, you know, like not even the end game boss of level, like the first fucking game. Like, and out comes fucking God from the end of the series. Like, come on, dude. Oh, that's terrifying though. Why do I hear game music? Bro, he's coming in here. He came in here.
師匠、その人かなり強いですよ。危険だから離れてください。さっきの正面に得体の知れないやつは一体どれだけ。
Just how many are there?
やっぱりやめだ。割に合わない。降参します。
世界征服の意気込みはどこ行った？
本気なのはボスだけですよ。私は楽しければ何だっていいんです。
楽しければいいだって。それで多くの人に迷惑をかけたのか。ふざけるな。
Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Fuck him up.
逃げやがった。
Oh, dude.
いや、きっと奴にトラウマを植え付けた。身の程を知って、これから生き方を直していくんじゃないかな。兄さん、リツ、大丈夫？ 父さん母さんも安全な場所にいるよ。そっか、エクボや師匠の言った通りだ。俺ちゃんたちも肝を冷やしてな。黙ってろよ。
さて、残るはラスボスだけだな。星野くんたちがみんなを救出してる頃だし、合流して突入しよう。
ダメだよ。みんな怪我だらけじゃないか。僕一人で行くから。
Alright, I'm gonna head out. Yeah.
何を言ってるんだい。僕も行くよ。仲間が先に突入してるんだ。ダメ。厳しいこと言うと足手まといなんだ。ごめん。人に厳しく。最上の言葉を資料なりに解釈した結果か。
Oh no.
頼むぞ。
分かってるよ。
Are we about to see like what a fucking show, guys. What a show altogether. This is one of those few shows, and we're 2 episodes away from the finale, ladies and gentlemen. We're 2 episodes away. What a fucking show. What a great way to go ahead and like I don't know, fucking end there or whatnot. Yeah. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. Nick, are you still there? I'm curious, real quick, while I go ahead and throw up words on stream. There's a post-credit scene? Alright, give me a quick second. Let's watch this post-credit scene and then jump on the general voice chat if you can.
お前一人で怖くないのか？
怖いよ。でもこれ以上誰かが傷つけられる方が怖い。まあ、なんとかやってみるよ。
やべえな。ガキのうちにうまく取り入ろうってのに、修行のやつうかうかしてると大人になっちまう。
君中学生？嫌だな。まだ子供じゃないか。特に今はタイミングが悪いんだよね。お願いだから帰ってくれないかな。
Would you kindly leave? Aww. Would you kindly leave? I'm not sure how I feel about this. Alright. Actually, Mob ain't that bad. Mob's pretty good, man. Like, Mob in terms of a show so far is actually quite entertaining. At least for me personally. I find it as though, like, Mob can actually offer a little bit more than... I'm not gonna fucking throw shade. Some other shows. Did you watch the OVAs? No, not yet. Not yet. We're waiting on that. Alright, I guess we're just gonna wait real quick while... I mean, there are some OVAs of Mob if you really... I really like Mob. Yeah, Mob so far is actually a really good... I don't know how to put it, like... It actually shows a little bit more of a consistency when it comes to like individuals being able to come into power, come into or just change, you know, what change means. You prefer Beastars? I haven't seen it. I've heard of it, haven't seen it. How's that? Lots of potential to grow as a character. My thing is, like, I can genuinely discuss the character growth for Mob itself, and I'm sure that I have throughout the entire thing. There's no S tier anime for me, Masters. I'll just be straight up. And right now, like, I forgot where I put it, but it's around like a high B, maybe a low A. I don't remember it, but I'll have to redo my fucking tier list sooner or later.